How you doing? Ken here. Sunday evening. Just a quick update. Fair bit of work done today, mostly cleaning. I'll talk about why the water's white now in a second, but just did my usual sort of 2 or 3 weekly flush out the bottom drains and give the bottom of the pond a vac. So that was done. I did notice that when I was working on the back, you might be able to still see it, but there was a lot of blanket weed. I'm glad because I gave the back a vac. Can't really see it there now, it's kind of gone, it's cloudy. But I gave the back a vac as well. When I noticed I was doing it, there was a lot of filaments of blanket weed, not sort of long pieces, but what looked very like the start of a blanket weed outbreak. So the whiteness is the cloverleaf blanket answer. So I put in a half dose, which is about 800 grams. The full dose is about 17, nearly 1800 grams. I did a half dose about 3 or 4 months ago, and it certainly kept it at bay. So I decided I'll try another half dose, and if I need to put in the rest of it in a couple of days if I'm not seeing any results, I'll do that. I also started filling in the hole finally, so this is where my pipe work goes into the shed, so I'll be doing a bit of levelling, and that's the filter flushing. You can see the water coming out down there. So I did leave the drum running. Just an update as well on the flukes. As I said last week, I did the flubanol treatment. I'll move away from the waterfall, it's noisy. And it seemed to work well. So I did a scrape again this morning. Yeah, the fish have honestly looked fine for most of the week. I just saw this again, this kahaku flashed, but then flashing once is probably not that much of a concern. But I did get the big white koi. I think he's sulking. Haven't seen him in a while. He wasn't too impressed, but I did do a scrape on him, and thankfully it was completely clear, so that's done. But my water's still not clear. I was just getting back to normal water when I had to treat the blanket answer. I said as well, when I treated with blanket answer, the R-rotted blanket with flubanol, I decided to bypass the drum for a couple of days, and they definitely did notice. Obviously I was bypassing the drum, so there was a lot of debris in the water. So when I did reconnect it, the drum was just continuously flushing. Obviously it was blocking up very quickly with all the debris in the water. And when I came out, did it at night, I think on Monday or Tuesday night, I put the plugs back in for the bypass, and when I came out the next morning, the water was probably down about 3 inches. The main pump to the 2 returns on the main ponds had stopped because the water level had fallen so low. Now luckily the back pump for the waterfall isn't connected into the filter control box, so it didn't get cut out. It kept running, which was great because it meant that I was still turning water over and pushing water through the filter, so certainly not a disaster. And there might be an argument for maybe not having both of them cut out like that. You know, obviously if the pond dropped dangerously low, the pump could run dry, but there was certainly no danger of that happening. But to be honest, I don't think I'll bypass the drum again unless I absolutely have to. I know with flubanol, the reason I decided to do it just to be safe was that I didn't mix it as well as is recommended. I'd no acetone at the time. So I had to just mix it with pond water and pour it in, but it did work, which is great. But definitely, you know, you learn everything. I've only had that drum now in place for what is it now, since the end of February. So still learning as I go along, but bypassing it is probably not a great idea. Still have the UV off, by the way. I had it off all week. Didn't really make. I thought I might start getting the green tint on the water because the weather's just been fantastic here this week. It's been really sunny most days, but really made little difference. I was surprised. Probably today I noticed that before I put the blanket answer in, the water was probably a little bit cloudy. You couldn't see the back of the pond as clearly maybe, but still could see it. So I don't know what blanket answer, to be honest, whether UV should be turned off, but really I think you're better off when you add any treatment is just turn it off for you know, maybe for 2 or 3 days with this anyway. I know the last time I added it, I still had the pressure filter on, so I didn't have the combi drum at the time, and it took forever to clear the water. I think it was nearly 2 weeks, and did a couple of sizable water changes as well before I got any clarity. So I'm reckoning the drum will likely clear it a bit quicker. Well, hopefully it does. I'd like the water to be kind of back to normal fairly quick. So that's it, nothing else. Fish, as I say, are all fine. No plans to add anything in the next immediate future. Might add 1 or 2 more before the end of the season. But other than that, things are going well. So if there's any questions or anything you'd like to see on the video, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll talk to you again. Cheers.